Okay, good afternoon po sa ating mga televiewers ng EuroTV. You're watching Road Full of Disaster program. Ngayon po ay October 22, Wednesday. At ngayon po ay may mga bisita po tayo na papakilala po natin mamayang konti. Alam po naman natin ngayon na marami pong nagkakasakit. So, Tek, pakita natin yung safety natin for influenza. Ano po ba ang mga dapat nating gawin para iwas, no? Ang trangkaso ay hindi mabasa. Sakit sanhi ng influenza virus na nagdudulot ng infection sa respiratory tract. Pag pumunta po tayo sa hospital ngayon, napakaraming nagpapa-check up, no? Paano nakukuha po to? Paglanghap ng mga droplets mula sa pagbahin o pag-ubo at pagsasalita ng taong may trangkaso. Paghawak sa mga bagay na nalagyan ng discharge, sipon, plema ng taong may trangkaso at maihawak ang kamay sa mata, ilong at bibig. Ano po ang mga sintomas niyan? Lagnat, sipon, namamagang lalamunan, sakit ng ulo, pananakit ng katawan, giniginaw, panghihina ng katawan at ubo. So ano po ang dapat natin gawin kung may trangkaso? Limitahin ang pakikisalamuha sa mga kasama sa bahay. Takpan ang bibig at ilong kung babahin o uubo. Pagkakaroon ng sapat na pahinga, uminom ng maraming tubig at kumain ng masustansyang pagkain. Magtungo sa pinakamalapit na health facilities upang matingnan at mabigyan ng gamot. Paano natin maiwasan magkatrangkaso? Magpabakuna laban sa influenza taon-taon. Takpan ang bibig at ilong kapag babahin o uubo upang maiwasan ang pagkalat ng virus. Iwasang hawakan ng mata, ilong o bibig kung nahawakan ang discharge ng isang may trangkaso. Iwasang lumapit sa taong may sakit. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay gamit ang tubig at sabon. Yun po, para maiwasan po natin ang spread ng virus, no? Or nung influenza. Mag-mask po pagka tayo ay may nararamdaman para hindi na po siya kakalat. Ngayon, alam naman po natin na sunod-sunod po ang lindol, di ba? Sa ating sa Pilipinas, no? Umikot po siya sa Cebu, Davao, Baguio, Surigao. Ngayon, pakita po natin for Metro Manila lang po to, yung quadrant, yung 4 na quadrant na kung saan nakatalaga ang mga hospital. Yan po. Yan po yung tinatawag na hinati po yung Metro Manila into 4 quadrants. So, yan po. Ang west po ay ito. Teka. Yan. Ang west quadrant po ay sakop ng City of Manila, Navotas City, Malabon City. So, ano po ba ang mga hospital na kasama dyan? For the City of Manila, Dr. Jose Pabella Memorial Hospital, San Lazaro Hospital, Tondo Medical Center, Jose Reyes Medical Center, at sa Malabon naman po, San Lorenzo General Hospital. Punta naman po tayo, South Quadrant, East. South Quadrant, ano po mga kasama sa South Quadrant? Las Piñas General Hospital. Sa Muntinlupa Research Institute for Tropical Medicine. Next po, anong quadrant yung next? East Quadrant. Okay. Para sa East Quadrant naman, ang sakop po nito ay sa Pasig City, Rizal Medical Center. Marikina City, Amang Rodriguez Memorial Medical Center. Yan po. Next, yung South. Ano ba yan next? South Quadrant ba? North. Para sa North Quadrant naman, Valenzuela City, Valenzuela Medical Center, Mandaluyong National Center for Mental Health, at sa Caloocan, Jose Rodriguez Memorial Hospital. Sa Quezon City naman po, East Avenue Medical Center, National Children's Hospital, Philippine Orthopedic Center, Quirino Memorial Center, Lung Center of the Philippines, National Kidney and Transplant Institute, Philippine Heart Center, Philippine Children's Medical Center. So nasakop na po ba natin North, East, West, South? Ayun po. So pinakita po natin ang North, East, West, and South. Ngayon naman po ay magtutungo po tayo sa ating mga paunahing bisita, no? So yan po, pakikilala po natin ang katabi ko po, si Past President Cathy Picson.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having us here. We're honored that we can share some vital, just a glimpse of the mga vital programs and service initiative na ginagawa ng Rotary Club namin dito sa community.
Ayan po, si Tarian Dorothy.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. So, thank you for our guesting.
And of course, ang presidente ng Rotary Club of Manila Midtown.
Good morning, everybody.
Pakilala niyo po yung sarili niyo.
Good morning, everybody. I am Rich, RP the President.
Okay. So, siguro nagtataka po ang mga ating mga viewers. Bakit po nag-invite tayo no, ng Rotary Club? So, napaka-importante po to sa ating socio-civic community, no? Lalo na sa ating komunidad. Iano po natin, no? Ano po ba what is Rotary para sa mga ating mga viewers na hindi po nakakaalam? Ano po ba ang Rotary or Rotary International? Anyone could answer that question?
Okay, let me share. Rotary actually hindi naman siya agad-agad nag-start as a humanitarian. It started out as a friendship and fellowship ng apat na magkakaibigan. It was started by a lawyer, si Paul Harris, in New York, and then that was in 1905, and then they had their first project, in fact 1907, when they had yung public sanitation sa Chicago, and then after a few years naging ano na siya, lumaki. In fact, it reached about 6 continents. Currently ngayon, Rotary International has about 46,000 members internationally.
Okay. So, pakita nga natin sino nga ba si Paul Harris para makita ng mga viewers natin ano pong itsura ni Paul Harris. Yun, pakita po. Ayan, si Paul Harris. So, naabutan niyo po ba siya? Ako, hindi ko naabutan. Bata pa ako eh. Okay. Yan po si Paul Harris, ang founder ng Rotary International. At ano po ba ang official logo ng Rotary? Pakita po natin yung official logo ng Rotary for yan po ang official logo ng Rotary International. So pag nakikita nyo po yan sa daanan, yan po ay Rotary. Yan po. So, yan po. Paano po sumali sa Rotary?
Actually, kailangan mo lang hanapin ang pinakamalapit sa inyo na Rotary Club. Tapos maghahanap lang kayo ng members. And then, sasali lang kayo sa mga few meetings. And then, usually naman kasi sa Rotary, ang hangad naman dyan ay civic service. So, kung ikaw ay professional or meron ka negosyo or kahit empleyado ka pero naghahangad ka na tumulong sa inyong komunidad or sa iyong syudad, pwede kang maghanap ng Rotary na malapit sa inyo, mag-attend ka lang ng meetings, tignan nyo lang kung ano yung mga service projects na ginagawa nila, pwede kayo sumali at pag nagustuhan nyo na mag-commit, pwede na kayong mag-apply for membership. Madali lang naman. Kahit sino welcome, kahit bata nga pwede.
Actually, hindi siya by applying, no? It is through invitation.
Invitation,
Yan
correct.
po. So, kung kunyari ako gusto kong mag-apply, hindi po pwede. Kailangan i-invite po. Tama po ba? Through invitation. And
I'll stand corrected kanina. Sa 1.4 million members, 46,000 clubs
ayun.
worldwide. Ayun. And our motto is service above self. Started by attorney or lawyer Paul Harris, the
Ayun.
founder.
Ayun. So, pinakita natin kanina si Paul Harris, no? So, balik po tayo sa membership, no? So, kunyari, gusto ko pong maging Rotarian. Ay, gusto ko mag-apply. Hindi po pwede. So, kailangan through invitation. Kung kunyari may si Cathy, in-invite po ako, ayun, tsaka pa lang pwede tayong ma-admit or maging Rotarian. So, ang pagkaalam ko po, 3 series of meeting. Should be attending 3 series of meeting. Bakit po? Para mag-adapt ka dun sa club, no? Para maging ano ka po, familiar na, oy, okay pala tong club. So, you have 3 meetings to think over kung papasok ka po o hindi. Yun. Yun po. Di ba? Tama po ba?
Oo, tama. Actually, sa Rotary Club, we welcome everyone, no, who are capable or interested in doing civic service. We have doctors, lawyers, architects, like Architect Dorothy. Ako, I'm a real estate broker. There are many of us who join and then who work together towards civic projects because we feel na there is something lacking in government that the civic sector can provide, di ba? Professionals like us can provide. Kasi especially now, di ba, sa kung ano yung nangyayari sa bansa natin, talagang kulang na kulang ang gobyerno, di ba? Kailangan talaga kumilos at mag-mobilize ang organized civic sector. So, ito yung Rotary, no? Ito yung mission ng Rotary. So, if you have dreams or interests, no, if you see that there is something lacking in your sector, in your area, di ba? Tapos you just want to help, well, Rotary is there, di ba? And, just approach any member and then talk to them and then see if you can be invited for a meeting and then that's it. The rest should be history.
Okay. Ano po yung nakikita natin, no? Minsan nagda-drive ako eh. Tapos may nakikita akong mga parang marker sa center island. Ano po ba yun? Siyempre, curious yung ating mga viewers, di ba? May mga nadadaanan silang ganun sa mga center island na may rotary wheel, tapos may mga nakasulat doon. Ano po ba yung mga nakasulat doon? Anyone can answer?
Are you referring to the four-way test?
Yun siguro, no?
Oo.
Ano po ba yung nilalaman ng four-way
The
test?
four-way test is very unique to Rotary International. Aside from the advocacy natin ng motto of service above self, yung four-way test, ano lang to, parang gauge mo rin for awareness, to create consciousness, awareness of how a person should be. Okay? Like, 1, is it the truth?
Ayan. Tek, pakita natin yung four-way test na photo para makita rin ng mga viewers natin. Ayan.
Yan. So, itong is it the truth? It focus on honesty and integrity. Okay? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Okay? So, it focus on impartiality and justice. Alright? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? So, it focus naman on respect and positive relationships. And then number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? So, it focus on mutual benefit. And of course, greater good ng
Community as a whole.
as a community.
Yeah, para siyang moral ethics di ba? So, di ba kung ang Bible may 10 commandments, ito parang very, very basic moral tenets, no, on how you should conduct yourself and how you should conduct your business, di ba? Just be fair. Sana kung ganyan yung kung ganyan yung government, di ba? Kung ganyan yung government, mas malayo yung mararating natin, di ba? Pero hindi, di ba? So, yun.
So, maano natin, no, para malaman ng maging curious ang ating mga viewers. Ano po ba ang mga projects ng mga Rotary? No? Ano po ba ang mga projects na ginagawa ng mga Rotary?
Marami. Okay, I just name one muna, yung history. Again, going back to history. So, we have this Rotary International President, si Matt Caparas. He's also a lawyer, like the founder, Paul Harris. So, noong 1979, he launched this polio plus campaign, di ba? So, ang objective nun is to immunize yung Filipino children. About 6 million ang nag-benefit, together of course with the Philippine Ministry of Health pa. Dati, wala pang DOH. So, and then it became global. Because it was very successful, naging global siya. Sa kasuluk-sulukan ng lahat ng buong mundo. So, it reached about mga 2.5 billion children immunized with polio. Polio Plus campaign. Ayan.
So, ibig sabihin po yung Rotary po ang nag-spearhead ng polio or End Polio campaign. Tama po ba?
Yes. And Pilipino ang nag-ano nun.
So, nag-start dito
Proud
sa
Pinoy
Asia.
ang nag-start nun.
Si
RI. President. Past RI President.
Past RI. Matt Caparas.
Yes.
Yan po. So, aside from that, pakita po natin yung kay Pipi Julia Miranda, yung mga projects niya po, para at least makita ng ating mga viewers ano po mga ginagawa ng mga Rotary. Baka puro sosyalan lang. So yan po, no? Makikita natin sa screen. Ayan, may mga fire safety. Next. Ayan, nag-feeding. Ayan. Ano to? Nahuli yata si Julia eh. Nasa MMDA, no? Natikitan. So dapat po tayo road safety advocate. Yan. Ayan. Ayan. Si Julia nag-launch ng inaugural ng 4-way test marker. Nandiyan sa Center Island, nakikita niyo yan. Ayan. Umakyat sa tanker kaya hindi na maka-under yung fire truck. Ayan po. Ayan, namigay po sa health center. Ayan. Ito po, nag-turnover po ng wheelchair sa isang recipient. Ito po, guest speaker, regular joint club meeting. So may regular meeting po ang Rotary. And next. Ayan, si Cathy, ikaw yan Ayan, nag-turnover ng mga medical equipment. Ayan, tsaka si Pipi Chody. Next. Ikaw din yan, di ba? Siya, yun. So, nagsasalita po si Pipi Cathy for the Army Reserve for their trainings. Yan, sponsored by Rotary. Next. Ayan, ito po ay donation, turnover of 20 sets of computer, no? Sa school, in one of the schools in Tondo. Next. Yan po. Light Up Rotary. Yan po yung team during your year, I think, di ba? Yeah. Ayan. Next. Ayan. Si Pipi Shirley, nagbigay po ng mga ayuda sa Baseco. Ayan. Yan po yung signing of donation, turnover of 20 computers sa isang school in Tondo. Ayan po, nag-turnover din po ng mga fire hose to be used by the barangay. No? And next. Tapos na. So, ayun po. So, aside from that, meron pa po yung kay, pakita natin yung kay Pipi Cathy. May mga photos po tayo na kalap. Ito kay Rich yan. Si Press Rich, ikaw na mag-discuss yan. Ano pong ginagawa mo dyan?
So, part ng service kasi ng Rotary, one of the services is to conduct mga disaster preparedness. no? So sa aming club, yan yung isa sa mga focus namin, no? Kasi yung ibang club, puro naman sila doktor. So marami sila mga medical missions, 'di ba? Sa amin, ito yung parang thrust namin. Kasi naniniwala kami na dapat natuturuan natin yung mga bata kung paano sila kikilos. Halimbawa, nagkaroon ng apoy sa bahay nila or kung may inatake sa puso sa bahay nila, may nabulunan, tapos bagsak na, 'di ba? Tapos or kung nagbaha sa area nila, tapos may nalunod or nasa beach sila, tapos may nalunod na kamag-anak, kailangan marunong sila kumilos. 'Di ba? Katulad ng nasabi natin, hindi na tayo talaga pwede umasa sa kahit sino. Ang mas maganda talaga, equip yung ating sarili at ating pamilya sa lahat ng emergency na pwede mangyari, no? So dito, nagtuturo kami ng mga bata, no, mga high school students kung paano sila pwede mag-react sa isang emergency or pag nagkaroon ng disaster. Tinuturuan namin sila, 'di ba? Para hindi sila magugulat yung magkaapoy diyan. Tatakbo lang sila, iwan na nila yung mga kasama nila or pag may nalunod, iiwan lang nila, 'di ba? So kasi kailangan natin i-equip yung mga bata dahil 'di ba alam naman natin sila yung kinabukasan natin 'di ba? So ito yung isa sa mga thrust namin talaga. Ito yung focus namin, 'di ba? Kaya sa aming club, aswerte din kami, 'di ba? Kasi marami sa amin na knowledgeable din sa ganito, katulad ni PP Rolly, no? Talagang involved siya sa disaster preparedness, 'di ba? Tsaka meron din kami member dito, no, si Architect Dorothy, no. So aware din siya, 'di ba, sa mga kailangan pagdi-design ng mga structures at saka mga building para makapag-withstand ng mga disaster, makapag-provide ng mga exit layouts, 'di ba? Tsaka kung paano talaga mag-design ng building. Kasi iniisip ng tao, disaster preparedness, pag nangyari lang yan. Hindi po, kasi ang disaster preparedness, nagsisimula po yan sa planning. At saka ang planning, nagsisimula yan talaga sa gobyerno. So kailangan talaga tuloy-tuloy ang suporta, di ba, architect?
Yes, that's correct. So as an architect, so our role po sa society is to design the building which can stand po storm, earthquake, and not only as an architect po, mga structural engineers din is partner natin for this prevention. So for us, siguro we can, as prevention po for so as an architect, our role is to implement the standards po ng building code. Like marami tayong mga government na hindi like the City Hall, sorry for that. Pero talagang yun dapat ang role namin as an architects na if we design, we follow the standards of the hallway, the standard of the door na open siya to the public or open siya outside para makatakas like what we discussed last time, yung nangyari sa ozone, di ba?
Sa ozone,
so,
ano ba nangyari doon?
Yung door po doon is a standard for the Philippine po, for our rules na all the public buildings, all the major doors should be
swing
palabas.
out.
It should be swing out. So doon ang nangyari is papasok. So lahat nung nagkagulo tayo na-choke lahat doon sa loob kasi yung door is humarang doon sa lahat ng taong palabas. So that's a big mistake for that building.
Yeah,
so,
kasi kahit yung mga tao nila, yung mga waiter or yung
hindi alam ang fire exit.
At saka kahit equipped sila sa disaster preparedness, di sila makalabas, di ba?
Yes.
Mamamatay sila sa loob. So it starts din sa planning, di ba?
Yes,
Ano pa
tapos
ba?
yung mga fire exits natin, so it should be counted as yung length ng mga fire exits. So dapat meron yan distinct na location kung saan nakalagay. Tapos yung mga signs should be visible sa lahat ng tao, na especially pag public. So yun yung mga major. Tapos pag sa structure naman, our structure should be designed by the engineers. So yun yung dapat hindi namin pinapakialaman. So kasi ngayon medyo halo-halo yung sa government natin Si engineer nagiging architect, si architect nagiging engineer. So dapat engineers are the one who will design. Tapos ang who will do the structural, which is based on the mga rebars, ganyan. Tapos may mga term tayo ngayon na over-design, di ba? Yung ganun, may mga under-design naman. So, we make sure na yung mga implementation po ng rules is na ano sa mga buildings natin. So, yun ang role as an architect. As a professionals.
Important yan eh, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi ang mga tao, iniisip lang nila parate na, pag disaster preparedness tayo, we will just prepare them for any disaster. Without really looking at, di ba, the environment. Ano ba yung environment kung saan ka nagpe-prepare ng disaster? Eh kung yung environment mo, isang building, tapos hindi siya design talaga to accommodate structurally or, any
Use ng
earthquake
building.
o,
Yes.
di ba? Nagka-earthquake o nagkasunog, walang fire, ano pa tawag doon?
Fire extinguisher, tapos fire pro. We should have a fire pro plan. Fire, yon. Tapos, dapat nga yung mga exits talaga is important. Tapos yung mga width ng corridors, it should be defined based on the tenants. Ganun. So, yun yung mga mistakes ng mga sa building code na hindi sinusunod. Dahil nagtitipid.
Correct. So, disaster preparedness starts from planning, and then the planning also works around the government framework.
And the implementation.
And the implementation. So, we really need the government to help out. Di ba?
Yun. Bali, matanong nga natin, no? Kasi, sabi mo nga kanina, di ba? Papasok, palabas.
Yes.
Baka naman ginawa nila papasok para swerte daw, papasok.
Ay. Yung mga ano na yun,
Pwede.
feng shui. Pero
Baka
dapat
ganun ang ginawa.
is palabas. Yun ang basic rule po natin sa building code. And yung width ng corridor, yung mga doors.
And matanong nga kita, architect, ewan natin kung kung kaya pong masagot, no? Yung sabi kasi, pag ang earthquake daw ay mismong tinamaan, let's say, ito yung mga bahay. Yung earthquake mismo, dyan nang galing, ang babagsak po daw ay yung mga maliliit na bahay at hindi po yung mga building. Tapos, pagka malayo naman ang pinagsimulan ng earth epicenter, yung mga maliliit na bahay ay hindi po babagsak. Ang probability, mga buildings ang pwedeng bumagsak.
Actually, for that, siguro theory lang yan. Pero kasi for us, as long as the building is prepared for and designed, good design for the earthquake, kahit saan yung center niyan, kahit saan yung radius niyan, if prepared siya and designed correctly for the earthquake, I think it will be safe. Tapos, just an info. So, kunyari, in a building, so, pagka merong mga earthquake na, ang pinaka-safe place po is sa core. So, pupunta kayo dun sa may lift or sa staircase.
Shaft.
So, yan ang
Sa
shaft.
Elevator
Kasi
shaft.
yung shaft po is buhos yan. So, yung sa mga terms po is buong semento yan. So, wala yan. Yan ang pinaka-sturdy and pinaka-safest place sa building. Kunyari, hanggang mid, rise, ganyan. So, diyan kayo punta kayo sa staircase, kapit kayo sa wall nung mga shaft natin. Hindi, parang medyo safe kayo kasi yung slab niyan medyo mas doon kumakapit.
Hindi na yata pwede sa mga hamba ng pinto ngayon, no?
Hindi
Kasi
na po.
plastic na eh.
Hindi
Dati
na.
matitibay
Mga PVC
eh.
na yan.
Dati matitibay, no? Ngayon hindi na eh.
Yes.
Konting ano lang, biyak na.
Yep. So,
Ayun.
yun ang pinakaano natin.
So, yun nga, tama po sa elevator shaft during the Twin Tower, no? In 9/11. Yung mga ibang survivor nakita dun sa elevator shaft.
Yes. So, that's the
Yan.
safest po.
And yun, to further explain yung sinabi natin, no? Ang explanation kasi nila doon, yung mga maliliit na bahay, yung 1-story, 2-story, walang foundation. Kaya kung yung epicenter ay nagmula doon, pwede silang mag-collapse.
Actually, every structure should have a foundation. So, yun at first.
Pero yung nakikita natin, di ba, yung mga bahay, nakapatong lang.
Yun
So,
lang.
hindi
So,
siya malalim.
Yun yung should be our local government should see, tignan nilang mabuti before sila magtayo. That's why we have a building permit. So, yung mga lumunod sa building permit, so yan yung mga kaya nagiging ganun.
So, dapat kahit na 1-story o 2-story should be may
We have a foundation.
malalim na foundation
Yes.
para pag nag-earthquake,
Yes.
it should be earthquake resistant.
Yes.
So, yun po yung study sa MMRers kasi sabi nila the probability, mas maraming babagsak na maliliit na bahay kung ang epicenter ay nagsimula doon sa area. Pero kung malayo, it is the building kasi magsusway siya. So, kung hindi po resistant siya,
Hindi
pwedeng
designed yung
bumagsak.
building.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kung galing sa malayo yung epicenter. Yun ang sabi dun sa concept na yun.
Pero pag sa amin, as long as it's prepared, it's designed correctly, safe yan.
So whether it's near or far, basta naka-earthquake resistant po yung building or the structure,
Yep.
wala, no need to worry.
Safe tayo. Kung mga 8, siguro 9 na, ibang usapan na yon. Pero mga 5, siguro 4, medyo dapat safe pa yung mga buildings na.
So no need to worry, no? Ibig sabihin parang ano siya, safe.
Yes.
Yan.
Dito, architect, di ba, pag tumingin ka ng mga private structures, mga private buildings, private houses, di ba? Parang pag ginawa sila dahil in full compliance sila ng law, most probably
Safe.
di ba? Most
Yes.
probably safe. Pero ang nakikita natin ngayon, sadly, di ba?
Dinadaya kasi.
On the other side of private developments or
Yep.
private projects, we have the public projects, di ba?
Yes.
And lately, it's so sad kasi we are seeing buildings collapse, floodways collapse. And even if the law is there, even if the government is there with the laws and everything, like what you said, it's the implementation, di ba? There's a poor implementation in government projects, di ba? What can you say about that?
Kasi for us, I never work in a government project. So lahat ng projects ko ngayon is more on private. So I can say siguro kasi I saw and I observed in the profession namin, yung iba talagang sa plano is complete. You can pass on the building permit, you can pass the code, pero sa implementation talaga tayo mahina. Kasi yung ibang contractors, contractors, talagang dinadaya nila kasi to save money, to save cost dun sa owner. Sige, ilagay natin yan sa plano. Either government or the public, sa plano is okay. So, pag nagka-reviewhan ng plano, tama. Pero bakit sa site ganun?
Okay, ganun pala yun, no?
Yes, may mga ganung instances sa Philippines, talagang implementation ang pinakamali. Sa plano, kasi plano is just sabi nila, drawing lang yan. Sige, go, yan. Parang kahit ano dyan ilagay mo. And yun yung paper, yun yung documents Pero implementation, that's why dapat, ang government din natin is, that's why we have the inspection prior to the erection of the buildings. Tapos, we have all the professionals. Meron tayong MEP, structural, architects. So, dapat yun talaga yung nagsisi in person dun sa building and talagang thoroughly na nag-observe or nag-implement. Pero since nga budget tayo, minsan
Budget lang ba? Budget?
Budget.
Or meron pang iba?
Siguro influence, basically, budget talaga. Ang
Budget.
number one cost, bakit nagiging maliit yung rebar, bakit lumiliit yung mga pipe. Yeah, so medyo dinadaya na. So dapat, that's the saddest ng profession namin.
Oo, kasi,
Okay.
di ba, katulad natin, Rotarians tayo, di ba? We are trying to do civic service, di ba? And as we discussed a while ago, there's only so much we can do, Kasi we can do the service projects when a disaster happens. We can plan it, di ba?
Yeah.
We can plan the structures and stuff like that. But talaga,
Yes.
what we really need help with is the government, Kasi, even though we plan everything really well, the private structures really well, we plan the students really well, if, for example, floodways collapse and then it creates the flooding in the
The
cities
whole area.
to flood well-designed and well-planned private buildings and houses, there's little we can do, di ba?
Yes.
That's why, it's so important that the civic sector moves in as well, di ba? And tries, although we cannot fill in the gaps of,
Kailangan natin makialam.
government. Pero kailangan natin tumulong, di ba? Whatever way we can.
Yes.
Di ba? Pero our efforts talaga, it's not there to really stop or reverse whatever has been going on. We're just there lang talaga to support,
Yes.
Di ba?
Okay. So, pakita po natin sa ating mga viewers, ano pa po ba ang mga ibang projects ng Rotary Club of Manila Midtown? Pakita natin, Tech, yung sa command center. Baka hindi po alam ng mga ating mga viewers, ang Rotary Club of Manila Midtown po ang nagpagawa ng first command center sa Manila City. Yan. Yan po yung mga nagkaroon ng launching of the Manila Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office Command Center. Yan po, kasama natin ang City Ad. Nandiyan din po si Father Anton during the blessing of the Command Center. Yan. Ayan, yung inaugural. Kasama si DILG. Si NCR Director Renato Brion. Ayan. Ayan. So, yan. Towards a disaster prepared community. So, yan po. Limit sa kaalaman ng karamihan, yan po. May mga significant project po na nagawa ang Rotary Club of Manila Midtown. Yan. Diba? Yan, si PP Arlene Velez during the interview after the blessing and launching of the command center that was located in Delpan in Manila. Ayan. Nagkaroon ng signing of MOA with the City Government of Manila. Kasama rin pala si General Santiago Laguna of the Bureau of Fire Protection that time. Yan. Yun. So, pakita po natin yung ibang random photos ng Rotary, kung ano po ang ginagawa ng Rotary Club. Siyempre, para at least malaman ng viewers na hindi lang pang-sosyalan ang Rotary Club. Di ba? Di ba? Yan. Nag-conduct po ng Basic Life Support or CPR. Yan. Kasama po in coordination with the Manila City Government, Manila DRRMO. Nandiyan po si Chief Angeles. Ayan. Nandiyan din po ang NCR Director, si Chief Superintendent Wilberto Rico Nil Quantiu. Ito po, during the pandemic, nag-turnover po ng mga pang-water. This is for in case na magkaroon ng sunog, yan po ay gagamitin. Kasi alam po natin, fire-prone po yung Barangay Addition Hills, which is maraming informal set there and every now and then nasusunog, no? So, nag-donate po ang RC Manila Midtown through PP Cell Bartolome ng mga water containers that was placed strategically sa mga areas doon. Next. Yan, si PP Susan doing the duct cover and hold. Next. Yan. Ito po, kasi hindi lang po pang ordinary persons, no? Dapat pati PWD inclusive po ang disaster preparedness. So, pinakita po ng RC Manila Midtown, ano po ang gagawin kung ikaw ay isang PWD. Hold on to the wheelchair, then one hand cover your head to protect your head from small debris. Siyempre, ilalak mo dapat yung wheelchair para hindi siya gumulong. Baka, siyempre, kung hindi mo nalak, gugulong yan, di ba? So, sasama ka pag dire-diretso sa danan, di ba? So, yan, ginawa po natin PWD inclusive ang training on disaster. Yan, next. Yan, Fire and Emergency Preparedness by PP Cell Bartolome sa Barangay Addition Hills. Yan, naka-face mask pa kasi pandemic during that time. Di mo, during pandemic, kumikilos pa rin ang Rotary. Yan. So, ito naman po ay mga use of fire extinguisher, fire safety. Yan, next. Yan po, yung mga other Rotary clubs who joined the disaster preparedness na ginawa po ng Rotary Club of Manila Midtown. Yan. Yan, makita natin, di ba, mga participants using fire extinguisher. They know what to do, like the T-pass or the pull the pin, twist, pull the pin, aim, squeeze the lever, and then sweep side to side at the base of the fire. T-pass. Yan po. Yan. Another alternate to hard hat. Di ba? Usually yung hard hat ang uso ngayon. So ito po ang alternate po doon. Parang yung ano siya, welcome mat na tinahe, parang naging sombrero. This will cushion yung mga debris from your head. Yan. Oh, Kati, ikaw yung nagsasalita dyan eh. Sa ano yan eh? Sa Malabon. Yan, from the Malabon Elementary, nag-conduct po tayo ng mga ang RC Manila Midtown nag-conduct ng fire earthquake preparedness. Next. Yan, sa health center, namigay po si Pipi Julia sa mga patient doon sa health district. Yan. Next. O yan, isa po sa flagship project natin during that time, yung nagbabaha, no? Namigay po tayo ng mga flood boat. Yan, si Pipi Shirley. Turnover flood boats to the city government of Manila during that time headed by Mayor Erap Estrada and Vice Mayor Isko Moreno. Yan. Nandiyan po sila. Tapos nag-turnover po ng mga flood boat. Yan. And life vest. Ayan. Sila. Ayan. Nandiyan ka, Kati. Si Shirley, Thea, and Sophia. Ayan. During the turnover sa City Hall. Next. Ayan. So, this is one of the random photos during the induction of Rotary Club of Manila Midtown. So, meron pong regular induction or yearly induction ang mga Rotary clubs. Next. Wala na? Wala nang photos? So, yun po, no? So, how many years po ang president? How many years is the term of a president of Rotary?
Usually just like from June. The terms June, the next of June. 1 year lang.
July 1.
July 1, sorry.
Ang Rotary year, no? July 1.
July 1, oh. Pero naghahanda as early as early, di ba? So, you know, if you get invited to join and then you're being asked to, you know, lead because you have fantastic leadership skills and, you know, your club sees that you can really implement some projects, take it, di ba? And then try to see if you can help out.
Okay. So, ano pa po ang mga ibang projects ng Rotary International? Anong focus nila? Di ba may mga areas of focus yan eh?
Rotary International actually, if you become a club president or leader, hindi ka na masyadong mag-iisip kung ano bang project ang pag-iisipan. Because meron na tayong tailor-fit na areas of focus that we follow. And this is given by the Rotary International. Ito yung mga areas of focus like disease prevention. So we've been doing that by giving mga talks sa mga families, mothers, mother and child, sa mga youth. Okay? So, very well diverse ang scope natin when it comes to community service. We also have what we call yung WASH. Ito yung sa water and sanitation, and hygiene, health hygiene. Alright? We also have peace and conflict prevention. So, marami tayong mga ideas regarding that, and sometimes itong mga areas of focus sa mga project, we incorporate it. Like for example, when we do fire and disaster preparedness project. So sometimes we incorporate all of those in just one project. Kasi like, when you educate, yung mga kagaya mga reservists, like what we've been doing for so many years. Actually, I joined Rotary when I was invited, and there was Aldo Mayor. He was then the head ng public safety ng MMDA, and he was so very, very articulate and he was sharing his experience like on earthquake and fire preparedness, especially pinapakita rin niya kung ano yung mga practices in other countries, especially Japan. So if the big one ever hit us, no, let's just pray na hindi nga, kasi nga with all this mga current events been going on ever since, no, and I joined 2011, but they've been doing it for like 10 years already when I joined. So imagine hanggang ngayon. So for ilang decades na, and that has been the focus of Rotary Club of Manila Midtown. We incorporate all these areas and focus in the fire and disaster preparedness para hindi lang just giving information. We do it with action, we do it with actual drills, and I remember Aldo Mayor is very, very cooperative. Mas walang ano yan, walang bayad ho yan. He's doing it out of love and service for, he's very patriotic actually. He's very dear to us kasi kahit saan mo siya tawagin. Like for example, sir, there's this corporation na gustong matuto about the fire and earthquake preparedness. And then he would go there. And then, maski, he will really find time. We go to yung mga slums, we go to yung mga areas na hindi mo napapasok. Yan, like yung in Baseco, Isla Puting Bato, 'di ba? Well, hindi maganda yung yung not so good the neighborhood, pero we were there, and then of course with the help of the barangay captains, with the help of the fire marshals, we donated the early warning device, and we educate the people, we did some drills. So those things, yung mga kasingit-singitan na mga community, pinapasok po ng Midtown yon. So I hope we can also be a service. Kung naririnig nyo to, we don't discriminate any community. Maski saan po kami pumunta, like in Bulacan, maabot pa kami in Quezon for doing medical and dental service, Pampanga, we do that. Of course, we plan everything in advance. Ganon.
Okay. So, paano natin hihikayatin ang ating mga viewers to join a Rotary? Yan. Mr. President.
Well, like in my case, my family has always been involved in works of mercy with the church. Diba? So we've always been doing programs with the church on the weekends. Diba? Pero when you do a program with the church and with your church mates, the budget is always limited to how much you can personally shell out. Diba? And of course, my church mates, you can see na yung puso talaga nila buong buo eh. Pero ang pinakamahirap sa service na ganyan, yung budget. And let's face it, diba? Kasi sila nabibigay lang nila yung kaya nila eh, diba? But when you work and do civic services like this, on a larger capacity, although the church is large, diba? But we're talking about your church community. But when you work with like an international organization like Rotary, you are surrounded by like-minded individuals, people who want to give back to society, people who want to help out. And the projects are well funded, diba? People are chipping in gladly, not because ito lang yung kaya ko pero they really commit certain funds, just to make sure that the projects are going to be successful and the projects are going to be meaningful, diba? And when you have like small versus small church outreaches, which can be limited. I'm not saying all, some churches talaga very well funded. But in my case kasi, in my church community, medyo our biggest hurdle talaga was the budget. But here in Rotary, your club mates, they help you, they provide you with the budgets for your projects, and then all the other clubs, they help out, they chip in your project. So if you are like us, diba? If you're like a doctor, you want to give back and have medical missions, maybe this is something for you. If you're a lawyer, you want to provide legal services, diba? Or you want to help a certain community with a legal issue, diba? So we have projects like that, diba? All our projects come in all shapes, form, and sizes. It depends on your professional capacity and your endeavors, diba? On what you see that the current community needs, diba?
Yun. Tek, may sinend ako 2 photo. Mahabol kaya? Ayun. So, may pinadala tayong 2 photo. Pwede natin pakita sa ating mga viewers kung nandiyan na. Yun. So, konti na lang po ang ating time, no? So, while waiting for our tech, Cathy, any last words for our viewers.
Okay, good afternoon again. Thank you for having us here. At least we'd like to invite you guys to at least take a look kung ano pong pwede nating ma-contribute sa ating community through our club, Rotary Club of Manila Midtown. Please get in touch with us through our PP Rolly and through our president, Press Richmond. We have an FB page, Rotary Club of Manila Midtown. Thank you.
Ayan, Architect Dorothy.
Again, good afternoon, and thank you so much for inviting me. Actually, I just joined the the Rotary, so medyo I'm a
Baby
newbie here,
Rotarian.
newbie, yes.
Baby Rotarian.
But thank you for this chance to share our knowledge, especially for the disaster prevention. Thank you so much.
Okay, bago tayo pumunta kay Press, pakita natin yung photo kanina. Yan. Yan, hindi nyo alam, no? Ang Rotary Club of Manila Midtown ay awardee ng City Government of Manila. Yan. Ayan, si PP Susan Chong ang nag-receive. That was during the time of Mayor Erap Estrada. Yan, congratulations sa Rotary Club of Manila Midtown. Awardee, no? Awardee ng napakaraming iba-ibang different government and LGUs. Yan. Press Rich, your message for our viewers.
Well, we would like to thank as a Euro TV for having us here. Thank you so much, for helping us raise awareness and for helping us share what civic service is and what it can be for you and your family, diba? Especially if you have this longing na talagang to give back, diba? Maybe this is one of the avenues that you can join, diba? Because we're always looking at the church. The church is fantastic. The church is there. So it's church and Rotary. It's not one of the other. Both is fantastic. It will fulfill you. It will fulfill your life. It will fulfill your soul, diba? You get plus points with God, diba? And hopefully we can grow. We can grow as an organization and really help out and provide the gaps that the government is lacking, diba?
Okay. So, bago po tayo magtapos, pakita po natin yung last two photos. Yung group photos ng RC Manila Midtown, yung 40 years. Yan. June 10, 1995, chartered Rotary Club of Manila Midtown. 40 years na po siya this year. Tek, pakita natin yung photos. 40 years. Ayan. Group photo during the 40 anniversary. No, ayan. Oh, happy 40 years of service above self and beyond. The Rotary Club of Manila Midtown, chartered June 10, 1985. Hindi pa ako pinapanganak nun, ha? Baka sabihin nyo, naabutan ko siya, no? So, bata pa tayo. So, yun po, happy anniversary. And, of course, sabi nga nila, hindi ko sabi, never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Yan po. So, on behalf of our program, Road Full of Disaster, my partner Mimosa Panlaki, ako po si Rolly So. Maraming salamat sa Euro TV, kay CEO Danny Mangahas for having our program. So, see you on our next episode. Bye-bye!